Greetings to all Pokemon manga fans. Welcome to the Pokemon Canon podcast, where we will discuss and analyze the Pokemon Manga Series, which chronicles the adventures of Trainer Red as he journeys across the region of Kanto to become a stronger trainer. On his adventure, Red catches Pokemon, collects gym badges, makes allies and enemies. Join us as we take a closer look at the overlooked origin story of Trainer Red and his Pokemon adventure. I am your host, Sir Serrato.
And hi guys, I'm Daramu.
How's it going? It's Fleur.
All right, and this is the Pokemon Canon podcast.
All right, so we're starting things off this time with our TV guide synopsis. And for this one, I wrote down, Red is in for a whirlwind of a ride when he decides to challenge the Cerulean City gym leader.
That is very straightforward. That is to the point.
Exactly.
All right. It's time for Pokemon Pocket Monsters. Pokemon are the champions. Recap. So now I know that Fleur is excited because she has to tell us who she's going to do the recap as. So last week, Daramu and myself, we suggested that you do it as either Koga or a very sassy Rhydon.
Okay, ready?
We're ready.
We were securing the perimeter to the entrance of Mount Moon in search of the rare Moonstone. Little did we know we were being carefully surveyed by two pesky good Samaritan children. With the help of their Pokemon, they were able to infiltrate our stakeout. I made sure to greet them with my powerful Rhyhorn, but this only made that annoying red kid sent out his puny Pikachu into battle. His Pikachu managed to get a good hit, and Rhyhorn was almost out. But that's when I pulled out my mystery serum and injected it into my Pokemon, involving him into a Rhydon. The kids put up a good battle, but they were no true match for my enhanced beast. In a moment of desperation, the twerps actually managed to pull a fast one on us by trapping us on the opposite side of the cave with only a large boulder between us. The kids ended up getting away with the Moonstone. Just wait till I get my hands on those twerps.
Okay, and you were doing that as who again?
Koga,
Koga.
as
Okay.
best as I could.
Yeah,
That's your-
good job.
All right, that's your Koga.
Loved it.
Not bad. All
I
right.
feel like listeners would be like, is that how he really sounds?
I mean, for all we know, Koga could be a tomboy lesbian. So, all right.
Just-
And now, ready for the walkthrough?
Yes.
Okay, ready?
All right. So we open up the very first scene. It's a kind of like a landscape view of the Cerulean City. The city is kind of presented to us like it's surrounded by water, basically, and there's no way for them to really get around other than to have boats or water Pokemon. So I wonder what gym they're hinting here. We open up a scene where we've got Red and Misty. Red is shocked on it. You look at his face, he's completely shocked to see that this gorgeous mansion, which kind of reminds me of like the New Orleans mansions. This gorgeous mansion is actually the home of Misty. So he's kind of shocked about this. You know, they just a few days ago he met this awesome girl who was like this badass girl who helped him take on Team Rocket. And now he finds out that she's like this very wealthy girl. So he's a little shocked by that. Of course, from inside the mansion, these cute little maids come out. And I like how honestly, the animation for them almost looks like they're about to take off flying. And even like the pita, pita, pita the sounds that they make. So Misty kind of points to Red and she says, this is, I guess, my friend or my companion, Red. And Red just has like a high little, yo, what's up, guys? Just very, very modest Red. You know, he's He's starting off the chapter very modest and likable. Hopefully he remains that way. I don't think so though. In the next scene, we know that some time has gone by because they have some of his, and that's Red's clothes. Red's clothes is hanging from a wire. So I get the sense that they washed his clothes, and while this is happening, we also see that the Pokemon are being recovered. We see two lines of Pokemon. We see Poliwhirl and Bulbasaur on one line, and we see Staryu and Gyarados on the other one. So we know that both Misty's Pokemon and Red's Pokemon are being recovered, just like the group themselves, which is, Red and Misty are being recharged. We then go into the next scene where we have this beautiful table set up to have dinner in. And it kind of reminds me of if you've ever gone to like a really, really, really wealthy person's house and they have like 5 tables and you're just like, why do you need 5 tables? I'm fine with just having a freaking bar stool and like 2 chairs on there. So no, I'm fine with 2 bar stools and an island. Like there's no need for all this fancy stuff. But anyways, Red walks out. He's wearing this kimono nightgown looking thing. It's a beautiful candlelit dinner. And I like how there's this sparkling glow when Misty walks into the scene. She's wearing this gorgeous, gorgeous gown. It kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, the Yule Ball, when we first see Hermione in that beautiful outfit. The scene where unfortunately it wasn't Ron, it was Harry that sees her, but she's glowing. She's got this beautiful, beautiful glow to her. And I don't know if Red just got nervous in this moment or if he was just being a clueless guy, but he totally threw shade her way by saying that, whoa, you didn't tell me this was a costume party. This is the moment where as soon as he says that, I picture all the maids in the background doing that funny anime thing where they fall to the ground like, oh, like dumbass. He's just clueless. He's so dumb for what he just said. She kind of tells him like, eat your dinner. I guess she's just really mad. In the next panel, they're having dinner, and she's a very poised, very proper girl, and she's very classy. And all these tiny little maids are just listening to Red go on and on about how he saved the day, and his story's kind of getting to his head. He's getting very annoying about it. Misty, you can kind of tell just by the way that she's clinking onto her food, like she is not having it. This is not okay. I've often accused the rival Trainer Green of being cockyboys.com. Yeah, Red is just being an arrogant douchebag.com. Like Google arrogant douchebag and you will get trainerred.com. She's not having it. She's looking around and she's trying to tell him, like, we got to talk about this. I understand that we were able to win, but that victory was a fluke. I don't think we can actually do that again. I think that's just something that we were very fortunate to actually do, but Red's not listening. He's so head over heels over the fact that they won a battle against Team Rocket. But as Misty points out, that they need to be ready because these Team Rocket grunts are not messing around. Red just doesn't care. He's living in his own little world. She gets really frustrated. She's trying to tell him, like, we need to be ready. He tells her to chill out. He does the best thing that a man could ever do when a woman is upset. He tells her to chill out, or calm down. It's the best thing you can ever tell a woman. So after that, of course, she snaps at him, and he just says that that those goons might be scared of that those goons might have scared her, but he knows how to handle them. She gets infuriatingly angry with him because she knows that he's not listening to what she's saying. And he has the audacity to kind of point out that during the whole incident, she was passed out. And he tries to make it seem like, oh yeah, you were passed out. I like, if you would have been there, you would have known that I saved the day. She gets up, she's furious at this, and she just storms out of the room. Later that night, And we know it's nighttime because we show the outside of the same mansion with a different view. It is now a nighttime view of the mansion. Red is lying on his bed. He's looking over his Pokeballs. And I like how they keep making a strong, how can I put this? Reassurance that Red has 3 Pokemon at this point. He has his Bulbasaur, his Poliwhirl, and his Pikachu, and he's just talking to them. He's telling them about what a great guy he is. And he has this complete moment of disgust where he's like, at least there's all these cute maids for me to talk to. I hated that. I really hated that. That's so disgusting. And the fact that they're trying to justify a little child acting that way, I have an issue with that. But we'll get to that when we talk about gender. So the light goes out. And I like how when the light goes out, they only focus in on Red's eyes, like boom, 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 like that tweak sound, that tweak with his eyes. So it's quiet, it's mellow, it's calm. Boom, out of nowhere, the bed like rises up in the air, and there's this whirlwind inside the bedroom, but somehow his Pokeballs that fall out manage to release a Bulbasaur, and as Red is flying in the air, Bulbasaur's Vine Whip catches him right in the middle of the air. Red and Bulbasaur fall to the ground, the whirlwind stops, and it just jumps out the window. It's like a scary moment. You get a sound of a there. Red gets up because he's holding on to Bulbasaur. He goes over and he turns on the light switch. When he turns it on, the room is like destroyed. This room is just completely ruined. He walks on over and there is a scale on the ground. Red reaches down and he realizes it's Gyarados scale. We're wondering who attacked him. The only clue we have is the Gyarados scale. So naturally, as you're reading this, your assumption is that it's probably Team Rocket because the Gyarados scale is their way of saying you took our experimentation, so we're going to mess with you. The next morning, of course, we see that it's the outside of the mansion, this gorgeous mansion, and we hear a tweet in the background. Tweet, tweet. Red is sitting down. He looks kind of like he's a little bit upset about something. He's looking at his food. He's not eating it. It looks like a tiny little sausage, I guess. Oh God, I'm hungry now. He's looking over and he's just going, He's just contemplating what is happening. The cute little maids go over and they kind of ask him if he's okay. And he just says that he doesn't say anything. He just assumes that they want to see him battle. He's being a douchebag like always. Not like always, just like in this episode. He starts gloating about what a great trainer he is. And he says, I guess you guys really want to see me battle. And I'm gonna show you how great I am in a battle. And I like how they emphasize the fact that he has a boulder badge on his shirt. And he's talking about taking on and beating this male pronouns gym leader. He keeps referring to him as him. The maids all kind of stare at him blankly and they just do the sound and start laughing. They're just laughing at him. They're not taking him serious. Red, of course, gets very upset by this. It strikes a nerve with him. He gets up and does the get off my yard little hand movement as he's kind of telling them, saying like, what are you laughing at? So Misty comes in and she's just like, she's clearing her throat. And she's like, when you're done, I will walk you over to his gym. She's about to destroy this boy. It's funny because the readers, we know exactly what's going on if you're a Pokemon fanatic like us. But yeah, so she's walking him down this pathway and he's right behind her. He's looking around. He has no idea what's going on. But of course, the readers, us Pokemon fans, we know exactly what's about to happen. So we're getting excited for this one. Finally, they get to the gym and she does this Viola, but it's more like Viola when they get there. And it's got the Cerulean City Gym. And I like how the gym is well, not backwards, but instead of saying the Cerulean City Gym, it just says Gym Cerulean City. She goes to the front of the door and she kind of like does this very condescending, smirky little after you. And she just goes hee 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 hee. And of course, Red, he's arrogant, but he's also very clueless in this one. He has no idea what she's doing. He's like, okay, I'll go inside and beat this guy. He walks in, there's this creak creak sound. So I guess the gym is supposed to have like this empty atmosphere, or that's what they want to convey to the reader. Once they're inside, there's like an echo sound, and finally he looks to her and he's like, where is this moron gym leader anyways? And Misty's like, right here, buddy. Who's got two thumbs and is a gym leader? This girl. So Red is like pointing at her like, what? He's so shocked about this. He starts laughing at her because on top of just assuming it's a guy, he wants to be a misogynistic jerk all of a sudden and just laugh at her. Ha 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 ha. Like, really? No, seriously, like bro, like who's the gym leader? Because I know it's not you. Like you're the dumbass bitch that passed out on at the Mount Moon. Like seriously, who's the gym leader here? Whoosh! This thing of like water just hits him in the face. And it's revealed that she sends out her Starmie to hit him. And of course, he's like, you bitch. Well, he doesn't really say that, but you know, we are in explicit content, so he totally says you bitch. He's like, hold on a second, which is kind of funny because he questions her, but as soon as she like freaking attacks him, he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you probably are good at this. And it's like, really, bitch, it took that for you to see that. Like, Red, you're so disappointing me in this one, and I love you. So she has her Starmie attack him, and it's like this big water attack, and he's running away from the attack. He doesn't want to get hurt, he doesn't want to get hit by it. But even like the art style of her face, like she's just like, it kind of reminds me of Misty. It reminds me of Sabrina in a way, like, you peasant. After he's watered down, he's crouched down on his knee, and he's just like, all right, well, no way, like, I get it. But she doesn't hold back. She hits him right back with another water attack. He gets mad, so he calls out his Bulbasaur. The battle starts right here. Bulbasaur uses a Vine Whip on Red's command, which of course she reflects the attack and immediately does a Bubble Beam. The Bubble Beam does this really cool spiral move, and it sends him on this spiral movement. So Red, of course, he falls to the ground. He's soaking wet. The Bulbasaur has even Poliwhirl's swirly eyes. So I guess in this universe, the swirly eyes means that you just got your ass kicked. So Bulbasaur got his ass kicked by a water Pokemon, and it was simply because, like, I love you, Bulbasaur, but Red needed this to happen because Red was being unbearable in this episode. She starts shaking, and he realizes that maybe there's something else going on here. Is this is this is this the moment? Are they gonna confess their feelings to each other? She's shaking, she's making a fist, and she says, I thought you understood how I felt about us as a team. She says, I just knocked you down, but Starmie wasn't enough at Mount Moon, which basically means like she just beat him in a battle, but according to him, her Starmie was not good enough at the battle at the Mount Moon against Team Rocket. She gets very emotional in this moment, and she's like, do you get it now? Like, I'm not fucking around here. We have to give it our all. Team Rocket is not messing around. And if we don't take it serious, if we don't acknowledge the fact that we won on a fluke, the next time we're not going to be so lucky. She kind of falls to the ground, and she's just like, because he asks her, you did all this just to prove this? And she's like, yeah, I did. And I don't know, like she's very vulnerable with him, but he doesn't get it. He's a dumbass. So he just says that I don't have time to impress girls. Like, oh, the second time that anybody falls again in this chapter, like, dumbass, she won't your dick. So then he reaches out and he's like, no more time for tears. Let's go train. And she's like, yeah, let's go train. So they kind of ended on this very strong note where they make it seem like these two characters are going to go and prepare for what's to come, right? Well, in the very next panel, it just says a few days later. Bwomp, bwomp, bwomp. I just picture like SpongeBob a few days later, and it's like all of the excitement has already happened, and the maids even ask, like, are you certain it's wise to let him go? And me as the reader is like, no, seriously, Misty, are you sure that's the end of your story? You don't want to like at least give us a good battle or like a montage? A montage? I mean, even Rocky had a montage. And she's just like, I do look forward to meeting him again, but we know each other's weaks and strengths. And I kind of view this as like when you love something, you let it go. And if it comes back to you, it was yours. And if it doesn't, it never was. But she acknowledges that she has a new friend and she waves goodbye at him. And he looks back and he waves back at her. And he has his Pokemon with him. And it's that dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun moment in the episodes. And Red and Misty part ways. We asked the viewer know that they're going to be okay. Until next time. All right, trainers, strap in. It is now time for chapter analysis. Okay, so that's the walkthrough. So let's go ahead and do the chapter analysis. So the first thing I wanted to ask you guys was, so there was kind of like a tug of war in this one between Red and Misty, right? Because Misty was pretty adamant about them training and getting ready because they did defeat Team Rocket in the cave, but it was almost like a lucky win because they almost could have lost that. So Red just kind of was relying on his pure dumb luck. I want to know if you guys were on Team Red or Team Misty in this particular episode.
Okay. I was 100% on Misty's side. So for one, it shows a different side of Misty because up until this point, like it's always been like the tomboyish side. So this side, we got to see that, we got to see a little bit of her background, but we got to see her be a little bit more assertive, a little bit more smart, a little bit more calculated. She understood the situation that she was in, and she understood that there was definitely some prep work that needed to be taken. So it was really good to see that because honestly, this was an episode where, if I didn't like this series, I probably would have stopped right here because I did not like how Red was at all this whole series, this whole episode. I mean, he's had like glimpses of this personality up until this point, but this was the one where a lot of it really shone through, and I really did not like his character.
Yeah.
I agree. Yep.
What about you, Fleur? What team were you on with these two characters?
With Misty, I do agree with Daramu. He was very cocky throughout this experience, and I feel like that was showing him as an inexperienced trainer, right? Because he really is an inexperienced trainer, right? This is his first time going out on his own, trying everything on his own. And then there's Misty, Misty, who's a seasoned gym leader, right? So of course, to her, it really wasn't a clear win. It didn't feel like a clear win. To her, it was more like dumb luck. And of course, as a gym leader, you're not winning with dumb luck. You're winning with strategy. You're winning with your bond with your Pokemon, you being partners with your Pokemon. So to her, that felt like he was taking credit, way too much credit for something that was purely just dumb luck. And of course, he was just rubbing it in her face, especially when he was telling her, "Oh, when you were passed out, you wouldn't know."
Right.
So
Okay.
that kind of like, so of course, in that moment, I was like, "Damn, like you really are taking too much credit where there shouldn't be so much."
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was
So
very much on Misty's side on this one as well. It kind of reminded me a little bit of kind of like in Digimon, there's this tug of war between two of the characters, Ty and Matt. And usually a lot of the conflict between them comes from the fact that Ty kind of always just acts on instinct, where Matt usually acts on logic. And what ends up happening is that a lot of times, yeah, Ty's actions do pay out, but there's always that chance that he's going to fuck things up. And I feel like in this one, there was kind of the same parallel where Red was just kind of just, I mean, we've said this before, he uses the wrong Pokemon. There was no need to use Pikachu in a battle against a Rhyhorn, but he just got lucky in the end because Pikachu was able to cleverly break a boulder. And I feel like it's just one of those things where Misty understands the power and the type of opponents that they have to face. And it's like Red's just like, we'll just wing it. So yeah, I was very much on Red's side on this one. What other notes did you guys have for this one?
oh, you were on Red's side or Misty's side?
I was on Misty's side. I'm sorry, Misty's side.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, oh, really?
Yeah, no, I was on Misty's
So
side.
one thing I did like about this one was a lot of it was very straightforward. So up until this point, like y'all have heard me talk about like power creep and like just wondering how wild it is. This was the first one where it was like very straightforward. So I was able to actually focus on the character development. I was actually able to focus on the story, and it was one of those things where, like I said, it kind of brought Red into light. Like I had to remember when this was made. I had to remember the target audience, and like I said, if I were reading this back when it was being written, I probably wouldn't have continued. This probably would have been where my Pokemon franchise died because I really did not like Red in this.
Yeah.
Up until this point, he's always come off as arrogant, and a lot of the times that he's come off as arrogant, it has been dumb luck. But a lot of the underlying themes that were there just really stood out to me also, like, oh, you were knocked out, but don't worry, I was there. I'll make sure you're always taken care of. Or even the little scene where it's like, we don't need to train. There's plenty of women here for me to go and talk to. I'm gonna go chase some skirts today.
Yeah, that was pretty gross. That bothered me.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things where it's like, especially when I was younger, like I already didn't like toxic masculinity themes. So if I were to just read this as a one-off, like having never played the games, I probably would have stopped right here because it was a little much.
Yeah.
But that being said, you have the counterpart to it also, because Misty was a complete 180. Like, yeah, she bumped her head in the previous episode, and that's why she couldn't really participate in the previous episode, which I think it's really stupid that he's like, oh yeah, you passed out. No, bitch, she hit her fucking head on a fucking wall. That's why she couldn't do anything. Like, so it
Yeah,
was really
she
good
didn't
to
pass
see.
out because she wanted to.
Yeah, like she didn't faint. Like she literally hit her head on a wall and she wasn't able to do anything. So, if you look at it, like she came into this like, no, they were really tough. They were really calculated. They were really organized. We need to make sure that we're prepared. Like it was really good to see. And I think this is something that y'all tried to talk about a couple episodes ago. It was really good to see a female role take that lead. Someone that was assertive, someone that was smart, someone that was calculated, someone that's thinking about the future. So if I were to continue this series based off of this one episode, it would have been strictly off of Misty alone.
Yeah, she was definitely a standout for this one.
Yeah.
I agree. She did kind of do a 180. I do feel like her presence, her demeanor and everything was just so different in this one from what it was when we first meet her. She goes from being like this, cool, edgy trainer that we meet on the road, and here she's kind of like a princess in a way, but she's still very smart. She's still very courageous. She's still fully aware of like what they have to do. So yeah, Misty's portrayal was very interesting for me in this one.
So
Um,
another thing I noticed, and there's one thing I want to talk about, but I want to like go to that very last panel. So she gave him her badge, and we didn't see the fight. Like we
No,
didn't
I did
actually
not.
see.
It seemed that yes, like they passed a couple days, but instead of going through the gym battle like he did with Brock, it was more of like her breaking down, and then it just finally hit him. Okay, like she's feeling some kind of way, even though they'd gone to her house a couple days ago, but it finally like clicked on him, like, oh shit, something happened.
Yeah.
Because he was so clueless, but they never went through the actual battle. So
Obviously,
did he really beat her, or did she give him the badge just because they trained together?
obviously there was like a training montage we didn't see, and so like there was something that happened, like because she's like, okay, we both know exactly how we fight, but now we need to go hone those skills by ourselves. Like there was obviously a training montage that happened, and that's why she's okay giving him that badge, because she feels confident that he'll be okay on his own. Like it's a lot different in compared to the anime, where it's like, well, you helped make sure that our perfume sales are going to be okay for Q3, so here's a badge. Yeah, like I thought it was really cool that she obviously beat it into him, like figuratively and literally, that she beat it into him that we need to take this more seriously. So apparently there's something that happened, and she was okay giving him the badge.
I just felt like this episode, honestly, if this would have been a TV episode, I would have lost interest in it simply because the payout to me was not satisfying enough. I like that the episode heavily focused on her wanting to knock some sense into him, but I would have liked to actually see them battle and see a little bit of growth for them. It could have easily been another 3-4 pages of just showing that, but it almost feels like you're watching TV and the signal went out.
Yeah.
Signal came back on. You're picking up like 20 minutes later. You're like, whoa, what did I just miss?
Yeah, like I obviously missed something.
The ending of this one always bothered me. The first time I read it, I was like, okay, so we're concluding the Misty story arc. I really loved reading about her, and you're gonna end it kind of like that. Like that just, oh boy, that bothered me. But aside from that, I did like Misty's portrayal overall in this episode.
So, can I talk about the battle?
Go for it.
All right. So with the battle itself, it's one of the few because, like I said, I haven't really watched a lot of the anime, but being a kid, I did watch a couple episodes. So I remember there was one episode specifically where Misty battled a Graveler, and so she sent out her Starmie. She's like, haha, I got the type advantage, and then literally the bitch with the Graveler like literally rolls over that Starmie. It's like, okay, yeah. So the other thing is there's level, and my Graveler is obviously a higher level than your Starmie, and just completely flattens it. So you can see that in this comic, because he sends out that Bulbasaur and Vine Whip, and she's like, Vine Whip, bitch, please. And then like you see the little like shh, and then afterwards she does a bubble beam. And it knocks out the Bulbasaur. So obviously her Starmie is okay, and I guess that's the power creep we need to talk about then, because we've already established his Bulbasaur should be at least like level 48, and her Starmie was able to withstand a Vine Whip and counter it. So she's obviously like way higher than that if we're going by that. But one thing I wanted to talk about is so y'all played the original games, right?
Oh yeah.
Do y'all remember how terrifying Bubble Beam sounded?
I don't, but that's because I never play the games with the audio on. I always have music playing in the background.
So I have the audio. I can press the play button and I can let you hear how terrifying Bubble Beam sounded.
Play it. Yeah.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Like it was just high screech, like yeah,
Yeah, I hear it.
yeah, like here, I'm gonna do it one more time. Alrighty?
All right.
Like it's just three really high screech beams right after another, and it like stuck with me. I remember using bubble beam all the way up until the Elite Four because that noise stuck with me so vividly.
Yeah.
Like, and so just to see that in here, it's like, oh no, when she said bubble beam, I was like, oh no, bitch got fucking real quick. Like,
So bubble beam just naturally unlocks like
it's a trigger.
It's a trigger for you. Yeah.
It's 100% trigger because I remember seeing that Starmie doing an attack, getting hit by a bubble beam, having a Pokemon faint, and then having her do recover right afterward. I was like, oh God, how am I going to get through this? This is only level 20. So that's my 5th grade mind trying to work through this.
See, thankfully, Pokemon, because my first game was Pokemon Yellow, and like I said before, if you play Pokemon Yellow, beating Brock was a challenge. Beating Misty was a walk in the park. She was,
Well, because you had a Pikachu.
Yeah, Pikachu just like kicked her ass. So
yeah,
I was more traumatized with Brock's Onyx. Misty, not so much. So her, I was like, she's not so bad. But Brock, I was like, fucking bitch, man. I hated him.
So yeah, no, those are my takeaways from this. Like going start to finish, I just really loved the contrast, like from panel 1 and seeing Misty like in that full gown and everything. There's actually a couple Pokemon cards that have that exact same look. So
wait, are you serious?
You'll see some, I believe so. And there's like some where she looks like this. There's some where she has like the white overcoat and she's dressed like a gym leader. And then there's some where she has like the yellow and the blue. So Misty is definitely one of those that like wears several different hats. And I love that I'm reading through this now because you get to see a lot of that. Like before I was like, okay, this is obviously some like fan made shit or whatever. So it is what it is. But no, like I'm actually getting able to see the progression and I'm actually able to see like where a lot of these references come from. And something as simple as that is like, oh no, that's actually really cool for like fanboy nostalgia.
It is. It you know, that
She's
was
a versatile lesbian.
Yeah, like obviously she's got tomboy vibes. Like they were very clear that she has tomboy vibes, and I'm glad that
of course
like,
she's a versatile lesbian.
Wait. Is that really a thing?
I don't think
a versatile lesbian.
I don't think that she's actually a versatile lesbian, but she's definitely got tomboy vibes.
No, I mean, is versatile lesbian a thing?
Yes, it's a thing.
Okay.
I don't see why it wouldn't be a thing.
I mean, if you don't see it, I'm not gonna go there.
Your versatile lesbian is the one that like is like does like a lot of girlies. So it's like a girly person, but then she also is like the one building shelves or like doing a lot of those DIYs, shit like that. Versatile lesbian.
Gotcha. So you heard it on here first, Pokemon Canon, dissecting lesbians. Okay. Did anyone have any other things they wanted to point out from this episode?
I guess the only other thing, like I said, if anything, I would say again, if I were to continue reading this, it would be completely based off of Misty, because like even the attack on his room, she's like, fuck it. And just like a relentless attack on her own mansion. She's like, I've got the funds. I'll repair the room in the morning. Like a complete relentless attack on his room, taking him to the gym, making him walk through every room. It's like she toyed with him the entire time. It's like, dude, you ain't anything. Like you literally got lucky at Mount Moon, and I'm gonna make sure you know it. And I'm glad that they showed her beat him. Like this is the first time that you actually see him take an actual L, and I'm really glad that they showed it was her.
And this is why the ending of this one bothered me so much, because I thought the buildup was just so great. There was a mystery. Who attacked Red? She's mad at him. Is she mad because she felt that they need to practice more? Is there more of an emotional thing going on? Like there was just so much going on. And then the satellite went out. We missed 20 minutes. When it came back on, we were like, what the fuck happened? So if it weren't for that buildup, I would have actually, if it weren't for the buildup not being satisfying, I would have actually loved this one. But unfortunately, it wasn't that great of an ending for me. Standout moments where we discuss the funniest, the cringiest, and the best moments of the chapter. All bets are off. Here we go. All right, so who wants to go first?
Me.
Go.
My standout moment is when she said Bumblebee. Like, that literally, in my primitive mind, took me back to where I was in my bunk bed when my mom told me to fall asleep. And I was like, okay, after this. And I had like a flashlight in my mouth with my GBA, or yeah, my Game Boy Advance, like, you know, trying to beat her before I go to bed and not get caught. Like, that one word sent me back like 18 years. So like, yeah.
All right.
Like, and then like the imagery with that and everything, like the vine whip looks beautiful. Her deflecting the vine whip with the Starmie, because like with the little, like you could tell that there was like a spinning motion that happened to avoid it. Like, it was just a really fun moment, and that was probably my standout moment for this whole thing.
Oh
like,
yeah, the animation of the battle was beautiful.
Yeah, it depicted how strong her Starmie it is. It depicted how much command she had over the battle. Like, that was my absolute standout moment.
Yeah. Okay. Fleur, what was yours?
My standout moment would probably have to be just the shock on his face when she takes him to the gym and he realizes, actually no, she tells him that she's the gym leader. And his face of shock is like,
let's be real here. Red was being totally sexist in this episode.
100%.
Oh, for sure. For sure, 100%.
And it was just so satisfying, her calling him out. So yeah, that was me. So my standout moment for this one is actually the one where Red says to her, "You didn't tell me this was a costume party," because my boy Red just cock blocked himself. He's an idiot. Like, she's so into him and he's just such a dumbass. And then she dressed up for him because, you know, sometimes I do that. If a guy comes over and I'm like, oh God, the cute one's coming over, I'll get dressed up. She dressed up for him and his dumbass.
I think that also applies not just here in the manga, but it also applies to the series as well.
Yeah. Ash was a dumbass.
Yeah.
Poor Misty. She can't ever get her guy because he's a dumbass. So that was my standout moment. All right, so for trivia, for this one, I have two. The first one is that Cerulean City is speculated to be based on Venice, which, yeah, so.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure where Venice was, so I Googled it, and it's apparently the location from the second Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland. And I was like, oh, that area. Okay, I could see that. And it kind of goes with the whole water thing. Now, the second thing I have for trivia, let me read it really quick. Okay, so the second one I have for trivia is that Misty states that her Starmie was not good enough at the battle at Mount Moon, but it was actually her Staryu who she used in that battle. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even notice at first.
Oh, I didn't notice it either until I was looking up the trivia. I was like, oh, that's right. She did name the wrong Pokemon. So that was an error that they made. I don't know if that was a translation error or if that was like an error from the Japanese version of
like
that.
An error. Yeah.
I think it was just an oversight. Like, I was like, wait, you used Staryu there, but okay, whatever. We're just gonna roll with it. And I literally just rolled right over it.
Yeah, just kind of like, just go with it. If you spend too much time analyzing these, you're gonna go crazy, and it takes the fun out of it.
She was mildly concussed, like
Like,
she didn't know what she sent out. It's fine. The plot armor still works.
you know what? I think you just justified that. She got amnesia.
Mild amnesia. It's fine. That's why we do recaps, because of mild anime amnesia.
There you go. So that's what really happened. Okay, so now we're moving on to Killian's That Scene. Do either of you think that that scene was in this chapter?
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Though it was a good chapter.
Although it was a good chapter, it wasn't like a standout fan beloved moment, basically.
I have thoughts, and we'll get to it when I get to the rating.
When we get to the what?
When we get to the rating.
Okay.
So
It is time for my favorite segment, the episode titles, where we title our episodes as if they were different fandoms. First, we do Harry Potter. For example, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone, depending on your preference. Then we do Friends. For example, the one where no one is ready. Then we do Hannah Montana. For example, there is an episode titled Smells Like Teen Sellout. And finally, Gossip Girl. For example, they have an episode titled The Revengers. Okay, so we're starting off with Harry Potter. So for this one, I got Trainer Red and the Midnight Attacker.
Okay.
Okay, what did you get for this one?
Trainer Misty and the lesson that needed to be beaten into an idiot.
All right. Fleur, what did you get for this one?
mine is Red and the Mysterious Trainer.
Okay.
I got you.
You won that one. You won that one. I'll admit that one. That one's good. I should have thought of that. Okay. I'll admit you won that one. All right. So now we're doing the Friends. I said the one where Misty snaps.
Okay.
Oh.
I picked the one with the ass whooping that was long overdue.
You really did not like Red in this one.
No, I really did not, and I will fight people over this. Apparently, this is, if there is a cross to die on, here it is. So,
All right, fair enough. Claire?
Mine, it was simple. The one where he's clueless.
He was clueless. Oh boy, just curious. Am I alone on this? Because I totally ship Red and Misty.
okay, so this is not the first time you have said that. I don't see it, but you know more than I do, so maybe there's something that happens later. But if it's based off of what we've seen so far, I don't see it.
Okay.
And I, again, will fight people. So
Fair enough. Claire, do you see any shippingness between them?
No, I don't ship them. I don't ship them.
Okay. I guess I am alone.
100%.
I guess I am alone on this one. All right, Hannah Montana episode.
like I said, you might know things that I don't know, and so here we are. Like, I just have to see where this journey goes and hope that it eventually makes sense. So
Fair enough. All right, so Hannah Montana. For this one, I did It Was Me, a reference to Shaggy, It Wasn't Me.
oh,
Okay.
so
Come on, that was clever. Come on, that was clever.
give me a moment. So I did Kiss with a Mist, based off of Florence and the Machine's beautiful song, Kiss with a Fist.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a beautiful song. If you haven't heard it, I will link it, but it's literally nothing hurts so much as a kiss with your fist. And I felt like Misty embodied that so well.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this song up after the podcast. Let me just download it right now. So
Kiss with a fist.
while I'm downloading it, what was your song, Flare?
So I put it's about damn time, Misty. Like Lizzo's about damn time.
About that time. I was like, wait, what? Okay, I like that. That's funny. You said Florence and the Machine, right?
Yep.
Now we're doing Gossip Girl. For this one, I chose the Little Gym Leader
Okay.
as a
I
reference
see it. I see it. I see it. I see it.
The Little Mermaid.
So I got Big Trouble in Cerulean City, based
Oh,
off of Big Trouble in Little China.
Clever. Yeah, okay. Okay. I like that. Blair.
This you're gonna like this one, Serrato. Misty and Red, Love and Thunder.
Oh, based off of Thor.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I see it. I see it.
I see it. I see it. Not bad. It's time for Who's That Pokemon? So, do you have your Pokemon already, Flare?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. And remember the rules. One question and one guess per turn, and I will be typing them in the chat box. So, Flare, you tell us who goes first, who asks first.
Okay. You can go ahead, Serrato,
Okay.
because I feel like Daramu is like his wheels are turning too fast already.
Yeah, we're trying to get you to do an episode because you're the only one that hasn't. All right.
I haven't noticed.
Okay. That's kind of a hard question, but does this Pokemon have a primary color?
No,
Okay.
I had to think about my primary colors.
Well, hang on. When I say primary color, I mean like
It's blue, red, or yellow.
no.
The
I
primary colors.
Oh,
yeah, but what I meant was like, does this Pokemon have primarily a color? I'm sorry, I meant primarily. So like Jigglypuff is pink,
Oh.
Gengar is purple.
So a
Ginny-
distinctive color.
oh, that's what
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
a distinctive color. Okay,
Yeah.
because primary color is blue, red, or yellow.
It is
Yeah,
blue,
I
red,
messed up.
yellow.
I'm sorry. So I meant like a
Oh, don't worry.
distinctive color.
My wheels were already turning. I was like, okay, let's do this.
So does it have like a distinctive color?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Huh. Okay. I'm gonna repeat some of my old questions. So, is it an evolutionary line from the Elite Four?
No.
Okay.
Don't believe so. No.
Okay.
I don't actually understand that question.
So, is it any evolutionary line from the Elite Four? So, like, if I were to say, is it a dugong? Is it a yeah. Is it a seal? Is it a dugong? Those would be Lorelei's evolutionary line. Is it a slowpoke? Is it a slowbro?
Okay, got it.
Essentially, like, does any of the Elite Four have it? Pretty much is what he's asking.
Or an evolution. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And the answer was no. Okay, let me see.
Mhm.
And random guess to throw out, I guess, execute?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Does this Pokemon have multiple faces?
What do you mean?
Like Executor, Magnemite. Does this Pokemon have more than just one face?
Oh, does it evolve? Is that what you're asking?
No, like you know how like
No.
Generation 1 Pokemon, several of them have multiple faces.
Oh, okay. No. Like, are you talking about a lowland?
No, like execute and Magnemite, for example, like when they evolve, they have multiple faces. So Magneton and Executor, even
okay.
Execute,
No.
they all have multiple faces.
Diglett,
No,
Dugtrio,
not like that.
Doduo. So no multiple faces.
No.
Okay. So no, okay. All right, Daramu.
Is it a dual type?
Yes.
It is a dual type.
Okay.
Random guess, is it Articuno?
No.
Okay.
And you said yes, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is a dual type.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Is it a humanoid body Pokemon?
No.
Okay.
And if it is, that's hella weird.
Okay. Let me try to give at least one guess in. Is it Starmie?
No.
Okay. Daramu?
Is it a type that a Gen 1 gym leader uses?
Oh. I'm gonna say no. Okay, I'm going to say no, and I'll explain my reason after the winner has been announced. Because if I say it now, it's gonna give it away.
So Gen 1, just so I can clarify,
Rock,
Yes.
water.
the 8 gym leaders that use it, you're saying that no, it is not one of those initial 8 types.
Exactly. It's neither one of them uses it.
But he
Let me
means like
just say that.
he means the typing.
Oh, okay. The typing, rock water.
Rock,
Oh, shit.
water, electric, grass, fire, psychic, ground,
Okay.
or
I don't believe so. I don't believe anybody uses that one in particular.
Oh,
Not in Gen 1. Not in Gen 1.
okay.
Not gym leader wise.
So
Okay.
no gym leader uses rock or water based off the Pokemon you're projecting.
Yes.
Is it Kabutops?
No.
Okay.
That's actually rock and water, so you wasted a guess.
I wasted nothing.
Let's see. Okay. Does this Pokemon have hands?
No.
Okay. Is it Cloyster?
No.
Is one of the types flying?
No.
Hmm.
All right, let me just type that in.
Random guess. Is it Jinx?
No.
Fair.
Okay. So I'm looking at the yeses, and the only yes that we have is that it is a dual type,
Yes.
and it does not have hands.
No.
The dual type that does not have hands. Okay.
No manos.
Okay. So I really want Daramu to do it next week, so I'm really trying to like figure this out. And it does not have like a specific color.
Not a solid one single color, no.
Okay. Excluding like the eyes and the mouth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. It does not have hands. Is this Pokemon Was this Pokemon in the first Pokemon movie? The one where Mewtwo makes all the clones?
Nope. Nope. Not that I remember seeing it. No.
Okay.
Hmm.
And you said no. Okay. I don't have any guesses for this one. Daramu?
Is
Can
one
I
of
just
the
say this? Can I just say this? One of you was close.
okay? Is one
Okay,
of the
well, I have
types?
a guess. I still have a guess left.
Okay.
Is it Kabuto?
No.
Go Daramu.
Okay. Is one of the types ice?
No.
Random guess. Nidoking?
No.
Hmm.
How many questions do we have left?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at 10 questions.
We're barely
Okay,
at
so we're
10.
halfway.
We're
halfway.
halfway. So let's reiterate, okay?
There's still a chance. Yeah.
Let's reiterate and confirm if that all these are correct. All right, Fleur?
Mm-hmm.
Does this Pokemon have a distinctive color? No. Does it have an evolutionary line in the Elite Four? No. Does this Pokemon have multiple faces? No. Is it a dual type? Yes. Is it a humanoid Pokemon? No. Is it would any of the Generation 1 gym leaders have this Pokemon? No. Does it have hands? No. Is it a flying type? No. Was it a Mewtwo clone? No. Is it an ice type? No. Okay. My question
Those are correct.
Is it a water type?
Water is part of it. Yes.
Part of it as in it is a water type?
Part of it, as in, remember, it's a dual type, right?
Right. So it's one of the two. It's
Water is
one of them is a water type.
yes.
Okay. Is it Gyarados?
No.
Okay.
So it is a Gen 1 gym leader type then. Because a water type is one of the Gen 1 gym leader types.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Then yes.
Yeah,
Then yes.
Misty has, yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking about, like, I was thinking Elite Four when you said that. And I kept thinking Elite Four, Elite Four, Elite Four.
Oh, that's
But-
why I even mentioned the typings.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it is water.
All right. You established it was not Kabuto or Kabutops.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Amistar?
Yes, it is.
How did
And I
you
thought
get
I gave it-
that?
And I thought I gave it away when I said, "Oh yeah,
Well,
rock water."
when you said rock water, that's why I went to Kabutops. And then when you said that it wasn't a gym leader type, I was like, okay, so it can't be water. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why
Oh,
I
my
stayed
bad.
away from
Yeah.
raw water, but yeah, no. Sorry.
I will be
buddy.
doing the recap. Well, actually, it's one that I really enjoy. So the next week's episode is one of my favorites. So yeah, jokes on you. Okay.
Yay.
So now you guys give me your 2 suggestions for who I should do the recap as.
Oh, Misty, 100%. She
Okay.
earned this.
Fleur, who's
No,
your
one of
One
her
of her
maids.
maids.
One of her maids.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Lady Misty von Schuschenbeier came back, and it was a grand old show. Yes, it was.
It's Misty or one of the maids.
I honestly am leaning towards one of the maids now.
Okay, I guess you guys will find out next week on our next episode who I choose.
I'm excited.
All right. So now we're going on to the episode rating. Now for this one, I feel that the plot was weak simply because the payout was unsatisfactory. I feel that the script was okay. The character development was amazing, and I feel that the obstacle was great. But overall, I just didn't like the ending. So I have to give one my lowest score that I've given out. I gave it 2 out of 5 costume party dresses.
5 costume party dresses. So I was gonna go 2 because, like I said, this one was really grating. It was really hard to read. It was really like just listening to this petulant child talk. It was really, really hard. So, but because of all the character growth, because of all of the character development, because of the way she was portrayed, I will give it a solid 3 bubble beams.
Okay. 3 bubble beams. Fleur?
3 bubble beams.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Daramu. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3. Okay.
3 what?
And I got that 3. And I got that from page 109 when Red is looking at his food on the fork and he's like,
Oh, okay. Okay. I feel what you're saying.
Nice.
Because the man was deep in thought throughout this episode.
All right. So now we're going on to the predictions. Now, when I first read this chapter, after Misty was written out for the time being, I remember being sad because I was really enjoying her. And when I first read this, as soon as Misty was written out, the only thing I could think about was, so when are they going to introduce this other girl? When do we meet Trainer Blue Leaf? Like, we're already, 8 chapters in and we still haven't met her. I was just getting really anxious to be introduced to her character. What are you guys' predictions, or what are your guys' views on what might happen next in the story?
I think that we won't see her yet. Not yet anyway, right? Not on the next chapter. But I do think that we might get another Team Rocket encounter in his next episode.
Okay. Daramu?
Just knowing what I know about the video game, I think the next encounter that we get is going to be the rock tunnel. You might get a little bit of the power plant in there. You couldn't get there yet because you hadn't been to the SSN yet. But you might get to the rock tunnel. You might go through the Diglett cave. So it's going to be one of those two. It's going to be either the rock tunnel or the Diglett cave.
Okay. So I've sent you guys an image in the group chat. As usual, it has a clue to what the next chapter is about. Now, the next chapter is actually one of my favorites from the first book. And looking at the image, what do you guys think is it's hinting for the next upcoming chapter?
I mean, obviously a little rat-ta-ta-ta-ta, but I think he's going to take a little bit of time to actually catch some Pokemon. Up until this point, it's been all about battling and whatnot. So I think this is where he actually is going to take a moment. It's like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be filling his Pokedex, and actually supposed to be actually filling his Pokedex.
Okay.
So, because we see a Rattata, and he's just kind of his Bulbasaur's looking at it. He's trying to get his bearings on the map. So I'm pretty sure he's going to take some time to catch some Pokemon.
All right, Fleur, what do you think is going to happen based on that image?
From that, we clearly see the man has been left to his own devices, and of course, he's not having a very good experience, if you will. He needs guidance, so we might see him maybe just trying to first off just figure out how to get to the next town. And of course, I feel like on the way to the next town, he'll just encounter a lot of other trainers, and stuff like that to maybe get a little bit more experience. And it seems like he might be able to team up with somebody else.
So you think that the clue is in the map, and Daramu thinks that the clue is in the Rattata.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think it's in the map.
All right.
100%.
I guess we'll see what happens with the next one. It is one of my favorite ones. Thank you, trainers, for listening to our Pokemon Canon podcast, where we review the Pokemon manga. If you're listening to this on our podcast channel, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review. If you're listening to this on our YouTube channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Help Pokemon Canon grow and reach a wider audience. We appreciate all your support. This has been your host, Sir Serrato.
Hi, Daramu.
And of course is Fleur.
Thank you to all of our listeners.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.